Okay, Zach, you are live.
All right. Thank you, Mitch. It's a pleasure to be here. Welcome everybody to SEFCA's Facebook Live series, where we catch up with leaders in this construction workforce space, people that are impacting the industry, the skilled trades, and carving out a path for young people to take a very positive step for their future. My name is Zach Fields. I'm Vice President of SEFCA, leading our K-12 pipeline team, which is all of our programming in the public schools, which are designed to introduce young people to this idea of building awareness for our industry, exposing them to all the opportunities and helping them understand those opportunities, and then connecting them to the next step before they leave high school to a great career or next step in advanced training, such as great apprenticeship programs or direct opportunities with employers. So we are proud to do this work on the K-12 team. As you know, SEFCA also has a great construction ready training program. That's a 4-week program that can take someone from no experience to a construction career in 20 days. And so we are proud to do this work. I see that we've got Kayleen is able to join us. Kayleen, welcome.
Hey, Zach, how's it going?
It's going great. Hey, I wanted to show you something. I have someone here that's very special to me that also loves to build and make things. And Sawyer is off of school today. Okay, so it's too cold in Georgia to go to school. I'm doing my SEFCA work, and I hear some pounding in the garage. And Sawyer is out there driving nails into some lumber, and he's created something really cool. I thought that you might get a kick out of. So I asked him, I'd asked him if he'd be willing to show it to my friend Kayleen. So I'm gonna bring Sawyer in here. So Sawyer, you can come here real quick, buddy.
Heck yeah. Hey, Sawyer, thanks for sharing.
All right.
Hi.
So.
Hey, buddy, what'd you build? What is this?
Sawyer has made something here. Go ahead, Sawyer.
It's basically like a huge hammer.
It's a huge hammer.
Heck yeah. I love it.
It's also an axe. What else can this do from a show that we watch on TV?
It can.
The robot fighting?
It can like smack something.
So
yeah,
it can smack something basically. We watch BattleBots a lot, and so we see people that are thinking of things in their mind and creating them and building them, and then obviously the carnage of letting them fight. So that's something that Sawyer built today. He said this can swing down, or it can flip something up like the BattleBots. But long story short, Sawyer has a great pile of wood in the garage, and he likes to make things every now and then, which I just think is really special.
Sawyer, I think that is so awesome. And BattleBots is one of my favorite shows too. So I am very impressed that you're creative enough to start to play with this. High five. That's very cool.
All right, cool.
High
Thanks.
five. Yay, thanks for sharing. Wow.
So
best start to the show ever, Zach. Thank you.
Well, we love seeing what our young folks can do, and the joy and the passion when they discover that they can bring these ideas to life. And it's great to see that. And so our work on the K-12 pipeline team here at SEFCA is to bring that very same experience to young people all across the state, or wherever or anywhere, wherever someone may raise their hand and say, hey, I want to learn more or find out more, or, oh, I can do this. I like doing this. And we just teach them and take them to the next step. So that's what it's all about. And it's a feature that I hope we can deliver to many more young people.
Yeah, I do too, because it's really awesome to see, well, not only, you talk the talk, you walk the walk, or whichever way it is, it's letting young kids build and explore. And, not only at home are you highlighting this, but what K-12 is doing with SEFCA is amazing. And I'm thrilled to participate. I'm running a bit late because I was building benches with first graders, which, surprise, surprise, they're not as fast as a journeyman, but even more hilarious. I mean, the funniest, just the things they say are awesome, but seeing that spark and what SEFCA is doing to do that and then continue, and then also partner with events like tonight, where we're highlighting the spark with parents, it's all around amazing. So
that's right. So, the most common thing I hear from the workshops that you're leading with us with the Home Depot projects is kids say, when can we do this again? Or this is my very first time building something. And then the parents are saying, hey, that's not leaving the kitchen table. That's not leaving the counter. And we want to take it from there, which is, we're just so happy to play a role in that story. And as that young person progresses through middle school, through high school, and they learn how their academics apply, and that this may be an option as a career down the road, we want to be able to get them to that next step, or be a partner with them to take that next step. And so we put up a graphic here. This is an easy button for anybody that would like to take the next step in construction out of K-12 or semi-recently graduated. But if they text the word career path, and that's one word, career path, your phone will autocorrect it to a space, but it's just career path with no space, to 31996. SEFCA has a team standing by to help someone figure out their next step. And if they already think they really know what they want to do, we will help connect them to leading employers, leading partners in our industry, and leading training providers that can really set them up for their next step towards a great career. And what I'm so excited about tonight is an example of some programming with some key partners we have at the Georgia Department of Education, who have been fantastic. We've got key industry training providers and people that represent trade associations, really all coming together to give parents information on what these next steps look like and what these options are. So I can't wait to get into our preview today on it. And I know it's going to be some really valuable information presented this evening at 6:30. Unfortunately for everybody out there, this thing is full. We only had room for 1,000, and that sounds crazy, only room for 1,000. We've got about almost 1,200 right now signed up. But the good news is we're going to make the recording available. We'll post it on SEFCA's Facebook site, and anybody that wants to make sure they receive that personally, you can just give us a message. We'll get it to you. So I'm excited to hear about it today. We've got some great guests with Tim Elliott.
Awesome.
Yeah, Bob Bradley and Chuck Little.
Yep, it's awesome. It's not just a number I memorize and say every week. Text career path to that number for amazing information. So yeah, Zach, thank you. And thank you, Sawyer, for sharing your amazing build. And Zach, you're going to be hanging out with us for the show to answer any questions at the end, right?
That's right. I'm going to fall back and you guys take it, but looking forward to what all we hear. Thanks.
Awesome, sweet. I will see you in a bit, because I am very excited to talk to our guests today, because the event that we are hosting this evening is fantastic. And it looks like I'm just hanging out with myself right now, which is fine. Give me a moment to talk about not only the awesomeness that SEFCA does, but also K-12. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Life is good. Life is good.
Oh, it's so good to hang out with everybody and see everyone's faces. I'm bummed that we're not doing this in person, but the event that is happening tonight, I think virtual is actually the best, because the reaction that we've seen has been off the charts. And so first, for our guests, I'd like to introduce Tim Elliott with the Georgia Department of Education, Chuck Little with Atlanta Electrical Contractors Association, and Bob Bradley with the Mechanical Contractors of Georgia. And these gentlemen have put together an informative, informational event this evening that I had to have them on to talk about a little tonight. So Tim, I actually want to start with you. So why was creating this webinar, which, career and options and choices for parents and high school students, why was starting this webinar important for you?
Well, Kayleen, I began as a construction teacher up in North Georgia, just over to, I came to the DOE about 2.5 years ago. So I spent 10 years up there, and my students would come to me and say, hey, my parents want me to go to college. They want me to go to college and get a degree. And that really, which was great, but the student didn't want to do that. And so Chuck and I and Bob and I got together and said, hey, we need to do something to help inform these parents what is available out there career-wise that I don't think they understand, that they can go straight to work, they can join an apprenticeship program, whatever the case is, and they can do a job, work, start making money immediately from high school, and then obviously have their college covered. It's a lot of it's paid for, depending on which program you go through. So they don't come out with those very high, those loans, student loans that a lot of folks come out with. And we discovered that 30% of students in the state of Georgia will go on and complete a 4-year college degree. What happens to the other 70%? That was what really we focused on with that. So.
No, that's a huge highlight because it is such an unmissed population. What about the other 70%? There are multiple pathways to success, and highlighting all of it is incredibly important. And so, tonight's event is really focused for the parents and really, hey, this is good information. What panelists are going to be involved tonight from the DOE? And also why? I mean, I'm really impressed. First of all, I'm in Colorado. Sorry I sent the cold weather your way. My bad. But why is the DOE invested in this? It's so refreshing to see, and things you aren't always seeing this in other states. So why are you folks stepping up?
Well, we did some things with our counselors called trade talks, which was helping to get our counselors out of the building and seeing some of these careers, which really helped our students. And then we found out the disconnect was a lot of it was with the parents. So when we came up with this idea, and Bob and Chuck and I sat down and came up with this, we sent it to the DOE, and my supervisor, Dr. Wall, and Mr. Woods both loved it. They jumped on board. They wanted to be a part of it. And so they're endorsing it 100%. And Mr. Woods will be on this evening, state school superintendent, and he'll be a part of this webinar this evening.
Oh, that's awesome. Bringing the heavy hitters to the table, because, we highlight again that 4-year path over and over again. So now to bring this webinar together to say, look, this is so valuable. All these folks are taking the time. So Tim, thank you very much for your support with this. It's refreshing, and yeah, come to Colorado. It is warm sometimes.
Thanks, Kayleen.
But next, I do want to talk to Chuck Little you're with the Atlanta Contractors Association. And Chuck, we've had you on before too. This is nice. It's like a revisit of all my favorite guests hanging out. So Chuck, why do you feel it's important to reach out to parents tonight with this event?
Well, Kayleen, there's 2 important words. They're simple words, but very complex at the same time. American culture. Tim has alluded to it a little bit, but back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, skilled trades were looked upon as great career paths to the middle class. And then somewhere along the line in the 70s and beyond, all of a sudden, I got to go to college. That's the only way. And there's nothing wrong with college, but still, that's just one path. And everybody seemed to forget about the other paths to get there. And again, when I say skilled trades, I mean that. I don't mean the stereotype is when you say construction, just laborer. No. We're not talking about being a laborer. We're talking about what does it take to build a $1.6 billion Mercedes-Benz stadium. As you walk around, you just see the finished product. But behind the ceiling, or above the ceiling, is a lot of skilled conduit and things like that, and HVAC like you see on the screen. And there's all kinds of stuff that American parents just don't think about when they think about a $1.6 billion building. So we can educate students, and we've done a pretty good job at that in our industry. We can educate educators, and we did a pretty good job. And as Tim mentioned, educate counselors. We finally started doing that in the last two years, 2.5 years. But then when we started talking to the counselors, they said to us, well, Doc, where does the student go home at the dinner table? Who are they talking to? And it's back to the parents. And that's where the key decisions are being made. And that's why we felt we had to get to the parents.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Again, Georgia's knocking it out of the park with all these important things. I mean, okay, first of all, the tours for counselors, you're reaching the students, but it's getting people excited about working in this industry again. You're right. I mean, back in the 40s and 50s, my father was a welder, but grandfather was a hard rock miner, and then it just died off, and I'm kind of the lone of my generation, which is so sad. So that excitement, getting it back involved, we have to reach all these different facets. And the parents, obviously, are one of them, to continue that excitement when the student comes home and says, I saw this at school. This is a really interesting thing. Beyond, we know the amazing career opportunities, but why don't parents understand the construction industry in general?
Well, do you remember the movie Jaws, Kayleen?
Yes,
do you remember that movie Jaws? Give me your best theme song. Do you remember that song? How'd it go? Go? Do that song.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Oh, what a bummer.
We Parents don't understand that again, the stereotype is a big belly, big neck. And oh, by the way, you're a female. What are you doing in this industry? Can females do in this industry? I get that all the time. But parents don't understand.
I got a hammer at my kitchen table, right?
Parents don't understand the math and science behind our careers. That's where the skill comes in. So our apprentices, they have to go through algebra 1, a little trigonometry, a little geometry, algebra 2, algebra 3. They got to go through AC theory, alternating current, DC theory, direct current, Ohm's law about circuitry. These are skilled trades, and that we have to get that word out of how much education it takes beyond high school to become an electrician, to become a plumber, a pipe fitter, a brick mason, a glazier. Look at all the glass on the Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta. A lot of people have seen. It takes a lot of skill to put that together.
It is a tremendous amount. You know, you talk about your average pipe fitter is doing more mathematics and equations than an accountant in a day. It's very math heavy, but it's applied math, you know. So if you have a student who isn't necessarily the best at taking a simple math test, this is math that's applied. And I give the example often that I was an all right student. I didn't fully understand Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, until the first time I got to a job site and squared up a wall. And I was like, what? This is all practical? It applies to stuff?
They become such better learners.
So I love highlighting that.
Yeah,
they are, you know, and it is, we're doing a lot of math. we're translating math then with our hands, our body, making pieces of art you live in. You know, Chuck, one last question. What does it take specifically? What does it take to get into the industry? You know, this is like the best magic trick ever. I feel like we're handing out winning lottery tickets. What does it take to get into it?
And it's going to be a little bit different depending on the field you go in. But in our case, you have to have a high school diploma and or a GED, and you do have to pass a test with some math on it and reading and comprehension. So in our test, it's algebra 1, a little bit of trigonometry, and 10th grade reading and comprehension. And for the longest time, even those of us that are in the industry thought it was the math that was preventing people from passing our test. And we come to find out it's not the math, it's the reading and comprehension. 10th grade reading and comprehension is pretty high. And probably the average reading level in America is about 6th or 7th grade. Again, because of these books that are so thick that people have to use and understand. That's in our field. In other fields, you might not have to pass the test, but you might have to pass a interview with a panel. In our case, even though you pass the test, we're going to put you to work for 90-day probationary period. And here's the most important test. Work ethic. We are going to measure work. Yes. I said to my contractors, would you rather have an A test taker with an average work ethic or a C test taker with a great work ethic? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, I'll take a C test taker with a great work ethic.
Oh, absolutely. Work ethic comes down to everything. You know, if you were late, that's a sign of respect. You know, if you're not going to show up and be part of the team, if your work ethic is low, I don't want to work with you. Ugh. You know, so yeah, test taking is not what it's all about. Chuck, I'm so excited that you also will be speaking this evening and giving more information to the parents. And thank you for taking a bit of your lunch today to talk about what we're going to be sharing, because it makes me wish I was a parent in Georgia. This webinar is going to be so fabulous.
Thank you, Kayleen.
Absolutely. And last but not least, I do want to bring in Bob, I was like, that's not Bob. That's a pretty good. I gotta switch this back. So Bob Bradley, Bob, how is it going? We've had you on before. How are you doing today?
It's going great, except for we got some of your Denver snow this morning in Atlanta. So
pandemonium must be breaking out. So it's a great thing that this event is virtual tonight. It is a webinar, could not have been planned better. Bob, so you work in workforce development, but you've also been in education for a long time. So what do you see as the missing piece as far as getting students excited about this? Like, I walk around like, I get to wear ridiculous earrings and build, but what are we missing?
Well, like Chuck and Tim said, you know, it's about getting to the parents. You know, like you said, I've been in education for 37 years, and we pound our students hey, you got to go to college. You got to go to college. That's the only way you can succeed. I did the same thing. I was guilty with my own children. And that's the reason this resonates so strong with me, is that there's multiple pathways to being a successful human being and being in a successful career. And that's why we're so excited about sharing the opportunities in skilled trades, but also other opportunities in the military, other opportunities in technical schools. So all these opportunities are important to share. And that's why I'm so excited about that.
Oh, I am too. And, you mentioned the military. It's great because tonight we'll be highlighting not just, college or the trades, but all these other pathways that we really don't highlight enough because, again, the fact that there's 70% of graduates in Georgia not really taking advantage or leveraging their skills to their maximum potential. This is an amazing opportunity. So what are some ways that students can become involved?
Our biggest thing we want them to do is research what they're going to do next. Just like you said, there's 27% of the high school students in the state of Georgia will go on and get a degree and work in the field they got the degree in. Think about that. 27 will get their degree, their college degree, and work in that field. There's another 40% that will go to college and not work, and either not finish college or not work in the field that they got their degree in. So they're going to incur $35,000, $40,000 worth of debt for something that they don't even need. So I encourage them all to study, to prepare, and know what you're getting into.
I love that answer. We do need to put a little onus on the students. They're becoming young adults. There is a plethora of information to research now, especially with the Department of Education putting a career. There's information online, like plentiful information. Okay, I want to skip around a little bit. This event tonight, we've been talking about this for a while. You opened up for 1,000 people. It sold out really fast.
In 2 weeks. It sold out in 2 weeks, and we're really excited about it. We've got about 200 on a waiting list. It is going to be taped, so those that missed this opportunity will get an opportunity to see it. I think SEFCA is going to have a link to the DOE page where it will finally be uploaded. But hopefully this is something that will grow and we'll continue to be able to put it on in the future. I know that I'd love to do it locally. Clayton County has come on board and they want to do one for their local industry. And I think that's just a great idea because it focuses on local industry and local opportunities that community has for their local people.
It is tremendous. And it's so smart because, this growth and the wave of momentum starts at the grassroots and the ground level. And, we keep saying like, this has been sold out, but it's free, correct?
It's free for everybody involved. All our breakout sessions, anybody that's going to come be a part of it, the host, I mean, it's all been taken care of with the Atlanta Electrical Association, my association, the DOE has been part of it, and SEFCA has been part of it. So we're all footing the bill for this and the effort for it. But obviously, if it's sold out in 2 weeks, it must be an important message we're going to be giving tonight.
It is, and I am beyond thrilled that this information will be available afterwards. One thing that folks who aren't able to attend live will miss out on are the breakout sessions, which you talked about, which talk about a unique experience. You folks have put together a virtual way for people to connect with the panelists that they've seen, even talk to employers. Can you tell me, like, how many breakout sessions?
I think right now we've got about 25 breakout sessions.
Sorry to throw.
So, we've got four branches of the military. We've got contractors. We've got technical schools. We're going to share all the opportunities. I encourage the people that attend to go to the breakout rooms and ask questions. But I like to laugh. And I say, a mama doesn't have to go down to the school and learn this. She can sit at her PJs right after she finishes her supper and ask any questions she wants of anybody she needs to.
It's very, very smart. And, the breakout rooms will be open until nobody wants to hang out in them anymore. I know I'll be hanging out with you this evening, cheering on folks, because I'm just impressed. You three gentlemen are so genuinely passionate about this. So to see the collaborative effort from, the government side and the industry highlighting this is absolutely amazing. For folks who are sad and like watching this, like, oh, I didn't get my free registration in time. Are there plans for any other events?
Well, we're going to see how it goes tonight, but I firmly believe that we'll do it again. I think other industries can do the same thing. I mean, the healthcare industry could have a focus on it. You can do first responders, a focus with first responders. I think this is something that's going to grow in our state, and I think it'll grow outside of our state too. I think it's just too good an idea and not to be successful. And we've got a great panel. I even have an 18-year-old apprentice that's going to speak tonight. We've got someone from the technical colleges who's going to speak tonight and talk about all the options and all the opportunities. So I can't wait. I'm really excited about it.
It is absolutely stunning. And, the weird blessings that come out of COVID, this is, I think, one of the definite highlights on being able to put such a large collaborative group supporting the same effort free to the public and to the parents. Like, I'm blown away. High five to everybody. And
we get to hang out with you again tonight.
Yeah. And gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the moment. Zach, what did you think about today's lunch? I'm like, oh my word.
I'm proud of us. I think I'm proud of the champions that we have in our state that are fighting for our teachers and our young people. You see, Bob and Chuck are front and center today, and Tim Elliott and his tireless work supporting teachers in the trades and many other areas. But I mean, the fact that the superintendent of our schools, Richard Woods, the superintendent of all schools in Georgia, is jumping in here. The great leadership of Dr. Barbara Wall, leading CTAE in our state. And so we got the right people in the right places. And what's happening in Georgia that I think can really blaze a trail everywhere else is how we're all working together. The nonprofit sector, the industry sector, the trade associations, the Department of Education, local school systems are all coming together around this. And it's the right thing. It's the right thing for kids. It also is a great workforce impact as well. And so I think Bob nailed it. What we're doing here could apply to a lot of other areas, and that just multiplies the impacts we're all hoping to have in this little corner for construction. So I'm pumped about it. It's great.
Yeah, me too. I'm super excited. I get to participate again. Hooray for the virtual stuff, because I get to hang out with my favorite friends and cheer this on, because again, hitting all the gatekeepers, and Georgia has really blazed the trail with the guidance, or the school counselors, with the student outreach. And so completing that circle, I see, and I know for a fact that you're going to have so many skilled workers in that state. Other people are going to come there to hire people. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have an overflow and can help all over. That's the idea. But again, more opportunities for our young people, right? They'll have choices on where they go and what they do. And at the end of the day, that's what we're so it's good.
Oh, it's stunning. Well, gentlemen, thank you very, very much for taking the time. This was fantastic. And, there are obviously a lot of questions I want to ask and a lot of good material I'd like to suss out of everybody, but I want to hang on to all that good stuff for the event this evening, because I think that it's going to be a nice, rich, after dinner dessert, especially because it's at 6:00. So it's going to be a nice, perfect event. So gentlemen, thank you. And for all of our fans watching, again, if you have any questions, please text Career Path one word to 31996. Just like Zach talked about, it's a great resource to continue the conversation or get more information. And then also check out the webpage later for the rebroadcasting of tonight's event. Oh, I'm so excited. So again, thank you. And next week, we're going to be chatting with Tay King from Harbor Freight, talking about their Tools for Schools scholarship, which is gigantic and impressive. And I'm excited to geek out about them as well. So, all right, friends, have a brilliant afternoon. I will see you all, tonight. This is the best. I get to hang out with you all day. Hooray, Tuesdays.
Looking forward to it, Kayleen. Looking forward to it.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Thanks, Zach.